Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another morning ramble. And this morning, I've been thinking about rising to the occasion. And I think the idea first came into my head last week, 2 weeks ago. I was talking with one of my mentors, Dr. George Pransky, and we were talking about performance and what it is that allows us to perform at our best. Is it circumstances in some way? Is it our state of mind? Is it some combination of factors? And one of the aspects that he pointed out that I'd never really thought about before is that there is a deeper part of us that will always rise to the occasion if we're open to it. And it's that part of us that shows up when we're in over our heads, but we haven't lost hope. When we are taking on a challenge that is beyond anything we've taken on, so we can't rely on our own devices. And yet something in us, some extra gear shows up, and we're able to handle things better than we imagined we could, and better than we think we can. And that capacity to rise to the occasion, it seems to me, must be built into the system. Because it's so consistent. It's consistent in people I've met in every walk of life. It's consistent in the truly successful business people and entrepreneurs that I work with. It's consistent in athletes. It's consistent in people that I talk to who from the outside, it doesn't look like they've got a lot going on, but of course, we've all got a lot going on, whatever's going on. There's a wonderful, I guess it's a quote, but it's a sentiment, which is that be kind. Everybody's fighting the good fight. And you don't know what people are dealing with, and you never know what people are up against. And yet, that capacity in us to rise to the occasion is ever present, and it's remarkably close at hand. And if I were to put words on what it was, I might call it universal mind or deeper intelligence or something like that. But I'm also just kind of inclined to talk about it as part of our natural resilience. That there is, again, built into the system, something in us that if we make space for it, it fills. It's almost like if there was a container and the container was only this big, and so it could only fill up with this much water. But the source of the water is infinite. So if you open the container more, it can fill up with more water, and more and more and more. Suddenly it can fill up with more water than we could imagine. It can rise up to a level beyond what we might otherwise imagine. And so it's our willingness to stay open, and instead of shutting down when things seem difficult, to open up to the unknown, to embrace the unknown, to embrace not knowing, and maybe even to allow ourselves to get a little bit excited to see what's going to come through us this time, what's going to come to fill up this space we open up by not filling it up with our own kind of worried thinking and shrinking sense of possibility. So I hope that makes sense. It really has been a ramble this morning. And if it does, and if you've got examples of rising to the occasion in your own life, please do share them in the comments section below. Have fun, learn heaps, and I'll talk with you soon.